Welcome to the Ship Sports Report. I'm Bill Morgul. Today we'll take a look back at the 2011-12 Shippensburg University men's basketball season, a campaign that saw the Raiders finish just short of the postseason, but still come away with 10 victories. Today we're joined by two players from this year's team, point guard Reggie Charles and forward Dylan Edgar. Reggie will be a sophomore next season, while Dylan will be a junior. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
First question we have for you. The team had its losses last year, but there were some quality wins last year, including those on the road against Mercyhurst and East Stroudsburg, who are two teams that met in the PSAC semifinals. Talk about some of the positive aspects that you all saw from those contests and your wins.
I think it showed what we are capable of as a team. As you said, they're both quality teams that we beat on the road as well. And overall, I think we underachieved this past season, especially with the 5 seniors that we had. But, we were capable of doing a lot more. It just didn't turn out that way.
Reggie, what were some of your thoughts?
Same thing on the road. We showed our toughness against those two teams that we couldn't put all the good aspects together during the other games, but those show what we're capable of playing if we're all playing together on the same page.
Now, it's a long season, Reggie. You got all the preseason work in October through the end of the season in February. What were some of the most memorable moments for you in your debut season?
Personally, for me, my best game I think was against Central Penn. I posted career highs in points and assists. But just all the experience that I gained as a freshman, starting right away, learning how to play in the league with all the seniors, I think will help me next year.
Now, Dylan, a question for you. This year's team really did feature, we've talked about it, that dynamic group of 5 senior veterans. Next year, you're going to be one of the most experienced players on the team, even though you're still just going to be a junior. What are some of the things that you can take from this past season sort of to prepare you for that role next year in your junior year?
I think just the relationships that I developed with some of the seniors, most of the seniors, they helped me mature not only as a person but as a player on the court. And they're all tremendous competitors at practice and in games, and they're great people on and off the floor as well. And personally, my relationship with Will Royal, being able to practice against him and play with him the past 2 years really helped me as a post player.
Now, moving on over here to Reggie, it's a season has its peaks and valleys, but now that all's said and done, what are some of the lessons that you can take from your freshman year heading into your sophomore year?
Just being able to come out and compete every game, harder than you have in the last games. Because in this league, it's very competitive from top to bottom. Any team could beat any team on any given night, so you have to really be prepared every game mentally and physically.
Question now for Dylan. With the 6 players that are returning to the team, what's the mindset of the group heading into next year? And talk about what your returners are like next year.
We're young and hungry. We have 4 freshmen this year, and that freshman class, they're very competitive. They all came from successful high schools, basketball teams. I believe 3 of them were state champions. So they definitely bring a competitive edge to the team. And, they're used to winning. And the returners, myself and Phil Sasko, we know what to expect. We're going to lead those guys at practice and everything, so we're just ready to get into it.
I feel the same way that they're all competitive, and we've come from good programs in the past, so they might not be experienced on the college level, but they have played against elite players in the past, and they know what to expect.
We are also joined today by SU head coach Dave Springer. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thanks.
The team was tested really early on, right from the outset, with 2 teams that ended up making the NCAA tournament, West Liberty and Charleston. Talk about the ability of the team, though, to play hard and really play well despite really a constantly tough opponent schedule.
Yeah, this was probably our toughest start of any season, having West Liberty and Charleston both in our Classic. We had a chance to play 2 teams that went on to the regional tournament, and very talented, high-level Division II basketball. And I thought it helped our guys early on just realize just what they were up against for the season. So it was a benefit to play those guys early. And we probably played the 2 toughest teams in the region to start the season.
Now, if you could talk about the lasting impact of the senior class, a group of 5 players who certainly provided a lot of memorable contributions over the years.
Well, that group was a special group in that, it came together late. Will Royal transferred in from Robert Morris. John Corrigan transferred in from Navy. And and Jordan's decision transferred in from Fairleigh Dickinson, and they joined Dane and Craig Van Syok, and that group just came together and they really competed. I was real proud of them throughout the season. They had some bumps along the way, but they hung in there and they competed, and they were good leaders. I mean, I was really proud of how they led the four freshmen that we had, and they set an example in a lot of different areas, both in the classroom and in the community, and then on the court. They were great teammates, and I think they showed those guys what it's going to take to be successful in our league.
Now, looking ahead into next year, it's an interesting group you have coming into play next season. You have 6 returning players, but you also have the recruiting class and other players that will be coming into the team. Could you talk a little bit about what we can expect really from that group that you have coming in?
Well, even though we're going to be young, I mean, there's a chance we're going to have 5 freshmen, 4 or 5 sophomores, and then Dylan Edgar as a junior and Philip Sasko as a senior. That group, even though they're young, they have a lot of experience as freshmen. Sam Pygott is a very talented player, came off the bench the whole season, very talented player. And then Reggie started, I think, all but about 3 or 4 games for the season. Dylan started all last year and started all but about a couple games this season. So you got 3 core guys that bring a lot of experience, even though they're relatively young. We got a couple guys that didn't play much, and one, Tahim Perrin, who they call Reds, who redshirted this year. He's very talented, played for a great high school program, and he's going to come in, and he practiced all year, so he knows what to expect. And then Akil Anderson, who didn't get much time, but had a lot of practice time against some very good players. So even though we're young, I think that we got a core group coming back, and we're going to add 5 to 6 quality players for next season.
Certainly, too, a lot to look forward to. So thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you.
I want to thank Coach. We also want to thank Reggie Charles and Dylan Edgar for joining us today, 2 of the players that you will see on the court for the Raiders next season. We want to thank you for joining us on another edition of the Ship Sports Report. For more information on all 20 of Shippensburg University's intercollegiate athletic teams, please visit us on the internet at www.shipraiders.com.